Alright, y'all, welcome back to the Weekly Punt. This is the Week 2 preview episode. It is Friday, September the 15th. Thursday Night Football happened last night. I'm recording this a day late, unfortunately, for the preview episode. Don't have all the news on these slides for Thursday night. That'll be in next Tuesday's episode, the recap episode. Standings all stay the same. Let's get right into it. News from around the league. Brandon Cooks, he has that knee injury. I believe it's an MCL. He works the rehab group during practice. I've seen some more things where he feels iffy on it. Fantasy-wise, you expect more production from him week one. He's still getting used to the offense. He's picked it up rather quickly. Not a major injury. Doesn't really impact the Cowboys that much. Just something to keep your eye on, especially if you are one of those guys that is stashing him on your bench for fantasy football. Defensive lineman Cameron Hayward, he's a veteran. He is a big leader on that Steelers defense. This is big news. Had surgery, expected to miss like half the season. That was an embarrassing loss to San Francisco, and losing one of your defensive leaders like that, one of the best defensive linemen in the league, not a good sign for Steelers fans. Out 8 weeks. That sucks. Bears offensive coordinator Luke Getsy. Man, DJ Moore only got 2 targets on Sunday. I'm glad to see that he's saying it's a disappointment. Fantasy-wise, you expect him to be that number one target in that Bears offense, and only getting 2 targets is just not the way that's going to happen. Jared Goff hasn't thrown an interception in like 400 passing attempts. I think he's going to break the record. It's Jared Goff. He's the best quarterback in the league. I'm just kidding, but, it's whatever. A record to keep your eyes on. It's not the most prestigious record. It's not like 60 touchdowns in a year, but not throwing interceptions is just as good. We have all the matchups down here for the week on this little cool-ass ticker that took me 30 minutes to make. I'm very proud of it. Look at all that go by. Badass right there. Let's go on. Let's go on into the picks for this week. I did make these slides Thursday morning, so this first one where I picked the Eagles, I promise I'm not cheating. I did pick the Eagles. They did win last night, so that's a win in the win column. My thoughts behind it, the Eagles don't look great, but no one was stopping that run game, and DeAndre Swift ran for like 150 yards last night. The Vikings, they look decent, but I don't know. It's just something about it. The defense isn't all there. Green Bay versus Atlanta. I'm going with the Packers. Jordan Love looked absolutely amazing last Sunday, and the Atlanta offense just... Desmond Ridder, he's good. He hasn't thrown an interception yet in his entire career. Bijan Robinson looks amazing. Tyler Algier also looks good. He had like 3 touchdowns, but I think the Packers, especially if Aaron Jones plays, the Packers are going to pull this one out. If Aaron Jones doesn't play and A.J. Dillon is leading that backfield, then I can definitely see the Falcons pulling off the upset here. Moving on to the Bills versus Las Vegas, I expect the Bills to bounce back in a big way from that embarrassing loss week 1. Josh Allen, he's not going to throw 3 interceptions again. He might. Yeah, he probably will. But he's going to throw like 4 touchdowns to make up for it. Vegas, just not a good team. They're just mid. The fact that they beat the Broncos is kind of a miracle, even though the Broncos stank. Ravens versus Cincinnati. Who dey? Going with the Bengals, obviously. Joe Burrow's going to have an amazing bounce-back game. I think Joe Mixon's going to run all over that Baltimore defense. Baltimore, they won last week on Sunday. It was an ugly win, though, against the Texans. You wanted them to play a lot better than that. Joe Burrow, he got the haircut. He's ready to put week 1 behind him. That whole team's ready to put week 1 behind them. Another full week of practice for Joe Burrow to get some more plays installed, everything like that. Hopefully not another tsunami going down in Ohio this week, so that'd be good. The Seahawks versus the Lions. I'm going with the Lions. I really wanted to pick the Seahawks as an upset for this one. The offense doesn't look good for Seattle. The Lions look amazing. I expect if they pull out a win against Seattle here, they're going to make the playoffs without a doubt. That team has so much hype around them. They had a long week to prepare for this one because they played on Thursday night the week before. They're all rested up. They're hyped up. They have the energy and the momentum going in. I expect them to beat the hell out of Seattle. The Chargers in Tennessee, I'm going with the Chargers. Chargers played pretty damn good against the Dolphins. It's just the Dolphins played like the best team we have ever seen. The Titans are mid. That passing game is awful. Ryan Tannehill is cooked. Unless Derrick Henry runs for 230 yards and 3 touchdowns like he often does, it's just not going to be a very good game. Very good season for the Titans. Chicago versus the Bucks. I'm going with the Bucks. Baker Mayfield looks like a good quarterback this year. The Bears, Justin Fields. I don't know where I stand on Justin Fields. He's had so much time to develop, and he's just not developing as fast as you would like him to. If they get DJ Moore involved, I can see them beating them, but Tampa Bay is going to pull this one out. Kansas City versus Jacksonville. I'm going with the Jaguars. This is not just me hating the Chiefs because I am a Bengals fan, I promise. I hope my chair is not loud as dicks. But the Jaguars, Trevor Lawrence, Calvin Ridley, they looked amazing. They looked in sync. Calvin Ridley was awesome week 1. I can definitely see them pulling off the upset against the Chiefs and the Chiefs falling to 0-2, especially if Travis Kelce doesn't play. There's still some question marks around it. Even if he does, he might not be at 100%. Colts versus the Texans. I'm going with the Colts. Anthony Richardson looked like a dog week 1. He just needs to learn how to slide and not get hit like that. The Texans looked okay. The defense looked good under DeMeco Ryans. I just don't see C.J. Stroud winning a whole bunch of games in his first season. 49ers versus the Rams. Going with the 49ers. Obviously, the 49ers look like the absolute best team in the league week 1. Brock Purdy is him. That defense is cooking. They have like Javon Hargrave now. More pressure on the quarterback. Nick Bosa. The 49ers are probably going to win the Super Bowl, unfortunately. I want the Bengals and the 49ers in the Super Bowl. That's all I want in my life. All right, Giants versus the Cardinals. Going with the Giants. They're going to have a bounce-back game. Daniel Jones is going to have his version of a revenge game where he's going to have the best game Daniel Jones can give you. It's not quite Patrick Mahomes throwing for like 500 yards and 5 touchdowns, but Daniel Jones, a good game for him is like 238 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks, maybe a fumble. But I expect them to bounce back and beat the hell out of this awful Cardinals team. The Jets versus Dallas, I'm going with the Cowboys. Zach Wilson isn't going to win you games. That Dallas defense looked amazing. If they keep playing like that, I could easily see them playing the 49ers in the NFC Championship game later this year. Washington versus Denver, I'm going with the Commanders. The Broncos did not look very good against the Raiders. Sam Howell looked solid. I think Ron Rivera and that coaching staff is cooking something. Again, for the Commanders. It was an ugly win week 1, but I think they're going to clean that up. They're going to beat the Broncos. I'm not just a Broncos hater, I swear. Miami versus New England, I'm going with the Dolphins, obviously. That was the most explosive offense in the NFL week 1. Tua's on track for like 6,000 yards this year. Tyreek Hill is on track for like 3,600 yards this year. Are they going to hit that? Obviously, maybe, probably not. It's hard to be that consistent, but when that Miami offense hits their stride, nobody can stop them. Absolutely nobody. We have 2 Monday night games this week, weirdly enough. I'm going with the Saints over Carolina. Bryce Young. Saints look good. It was an ugly win against the Titans. But another week for Derek Carr to get used to that offense. Chris Olave looked good. It's just hard to root for... It's hard to choose the rookie quarterbacks, especially this early into their rookie year. The Browns versus the Steelers. I'm going with the Browns. Fuck the Steelers. The Steelers are absolutely god-awful trash. Browns defense is really good, unfortunately. I think they're going to beat the brakes off of the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's all. That is all the picks. I thought this was funny. Justin Fields hate. I'm not here for it. He has potential, but whatever. Quick episode today, quick episode this week for the preview. Just wanted to get the picks made really quickly. I am recording this a day late, unfortunately. It is Friday. I promise I didn't cheat with that Eagles pick. Alright, that's all for the preview episode this week. Longer episode, bigger things coming in the recap episode coming up. Coming up next Tuesday. Got bigger things planned for this. This is just a quick preview episode. Promise I'm going to keep being creative with this. Thank you all for watching. Be a friend. Tell a friend something nice. Pat McAfee, great quote. All right. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you have an amazing rest of your Friday nights whenever you're watching.